penalties and interest abatement. Abatement means reduction, okay? Reduction. So the taxpayers can request for a reduction in their penalties and interest if there are certain reasonable causes that led to the penalties and interest. So taxpayers can request this. IRS may grant, okay, administrative relief from the penalty sometimes, okay, depending on several cases. So IRS has a first time penalty abatement policy. As per that, if you are to be eligible, then as a taxpayer, you should be filing all the taxes. There shouldn't be any filing requirements pending for you. You have filed all the taxes properly, and you didn't have any penalties from the last 3 years preceding to this. Okay, there was no tax penalties or interest from the last previous 3 years. And also, if taxpayer was unable to file something, he had properly filed any extension forms, and taxpayer had made all the arrangements, okay, has taken all the efforts, okay, all efforts to pay the tax, and due to some circumstances he could not pay it. Okay, that's when he can request for a interest and penalty abatement. Okay. Sometimes there could be certain situations wherein IRS might give improper, officers of IRS might give improper oral advice to the taxpayers, and depending on that or trusting on that, the taxpayers made a mistake. Okay, so it was due to IRS's oral improper advice. Okay, so if IRS uh, you know, understood that this was due to that, then the taxpayer can request for an interest abatement, an interest and penalty reduction to the IRS. Okay, so IRS is going to take the justifications, okay, that the taxpayer has exercised all reasonable business costs and caution and diligence to basically meet his federal tax obligations. Okay, and still he was not able to do that. There'll be some typical situations, okay, wherein the taxpayer had tried it, but he couldn't really do this. For example, fire, casualty, natural disasters. Okay, these should be federally declared natural disaster. Okay, by the president of the U.S. Okay, federally declared natural disasters, and that was the reason he could not file, or he could not file, or he could not pay on proper time. Okay, inability to obtain records due to any reasonable causes, death, serious illness, okay, very serious illness. He was hospitalized, he or his immediate family, okay, and he was not in a position to file or pay, uh, okay, and he has tried everything, okay, to make the payment. He could not do that, okay. Now, or if the IRS's employee, okay, made an unjustified mistake that took very long to complete the managerial or ministerial task, IRS may reduce the amount of interest that a taxpayer can earn. Oh, okay. So now, if the taxpayer has contributed to the error, okay, along with the IRS, then the interest may not be abated. Okay, interest can still accrue. Now, if you want to get your penalties and interest uh, getting accrued, what you should be doing that you should actually pay them so that it doesn't get accrued. So during the time that you're requesting for an abatement, you should actually pay that, okay, and then probably you could get a refund, okay, so that your interest and penalties doesn't get accrued. Okay, how do you do that? As we know, any of the communications that we do with the IRS is through some kind of forms. Okay, so you use a form number 843, okay, for the interest abatement uh, uh, policy as per the IRS. So this is about interest and penalty abatement, guys. Good luck with yours.